Hello my friends, welcome back. Today I'm talking about PENHALIGON'S and more specifically the PENHALIGON'S Portraits collection. Now this was launched a few years ago when PENHALIGON'S was trying to rebrand themselves, be more modern, move a little bit more towards commercialization, I would say. And when these first launched, I found them very attractive. Obviously, I mean, have you seen them? They're heads of animals. They are super duper collectible, delectable, and this was a very smart move on PENHALIGON'S behalf because people just want to collect all of the heads and own the entire collection. So I have 5 of the PENHALIGON'S Portraits fragrances, and I'm going to talk about them. The first fragrance I have from the collection is The Tragedy of Lord George. This is probably one of the most striking bottles in the collection. It is that wonderful deer head. And Lord George is the head of the family. He's a serious man. He smells of shaving soap and brandy. And even on his days where he's casual, he still is very well put together. This scent is one that I would describe as mature. Flying Torso actually bought this fragrance because he loved the outer of it, and then he ended up liking the outer more than the actual fragrance itself. So therefore, it's not very used, but it makes a nice, part of your collection. Then we have Mr. Roaring Radcliffe. Roaring Radcliffe is the lion. He is the secret son of Lord George. So he is free to do whatever he pleases. He's free to roam around. He eats gingerbread, he drinks cognac, and he smokes cigars. He comes off strong at first, but then lightens up over time and is not overbearing. Then we have Terrible Teddy. Incense, leather, and ambroxan. Terrible Teddy is actually not so terrible. The ambroxan makes this slightly more mass appealing, and it's an easy dip into the incense pool for those of you who are curious. Terrible Teddy garners me a lot of attention. Moving down the hallways of this old mansion, we then have the coveted Duchess Rose, a musky woody rose, a naughtier rose, if you will. This has some spiciness to the rose, but it also has this ambroxany appeal that makes this not too much of an abrasive scent either. This was the first one that I added from the collection and is really an easy wear. Now, a cousin to the Duchess Rose, we have the Bewitching Yasmine. She is the sensual one, the one who enjoys having some attention. Jasmine, incense, and oud make up this heady scent that lays on the cusp of being gourmand, enticing everyone around you and making you want more after each wear. This is very addictive. Then we have a distant cousin to all the others, the ingenue cousin Flora. She is cheerful, she is citrusy, she's musky, she's inoffensive. She's just one that you can basically bathe in and no one is going to be offended. Invigorating and also fairly safe. Then lastly, we have the blazing Mr. Sam, who is visiting the estate. Contrary to an Englishman in New York, this is an American in London. So he is brazen, he's unapologetic with cardamom and cumin to begin with, then with some spicy pepper and patchouli creeping through as well. This, if you take a step back, is actually a spicier take on the age-old combination of sweet vanilla and tobacco. So that magnetic fellow that everyone is drawn to is Mr. Sam. And these are the ones that I have. I may be adding 1 or 2 more, but I do need to go back and sniff the whole collection again, straight from Jermyn Street here in London. As always, let me know your thoughts on these fragrances. Have you tried them? Do you feel that they are worth it? I'll catch you next time.